Hi, you guys. So I wanted to come on and touch on some stories that are out here. And at first I was going to try to put together all these separate videos. And then I said, I could, I don't really have that much to say on most of the topics that I'm going to touch on in this video. So I just decided to put them all together. The whole lineup may seem like it's all over the place to you guys, but I just wanted to go out and kind of put these topics together that are kind of out here. I guess the very least story that I have to say is about the whole Kevin Gates situation. I just saw this yesterday on his page and I was going, what is going on? I'm going to play it for you guys and then I'll come back.
Yeah, yeah. Nigga just left out the ocean, you heard me? All you old evil ass hoes, you know, all that shit y'all had on a real nigga, you heard me? Oh, bitch. Bitch, I'm back, bitch. Hey, bitch, I'm 10 years younger, bitch. Bitch, I can eat a nigga whole dick, you heard me? I'm out here. Knowing that we got soul ties and this no longer a vibe, you heard me? Yeah, bitch, what's up, bitch? I just got out the ocean, bitch. Y'all can eat a nigga whole dick, you heard me?
Okay, what is he talking about? I'm like, did he just say he would eat a whole peen? What is going on with these rappers today? I don't know. Anyway, because you can see how the second clip cuts, he kind of comes back and he says it in a different way, right? And so he kind of come back and clean it up. And those videos were not back to back. It's like it was a few minutes or, some time went by before he came back and kind of, you can see how he had calmed down and he kind of reworded what he said. But I was like, I don't know him like that. I don't know what if he's fluid or whatever's going on. But just kind of, it took even the people in his comments by surprise. So I'm assuming, I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Because like I said, I don't know a lot about him. I don't know if he is both, into both or not, right? Because I know quite a few rappers, at least that's what they say today. So it could be, and I just didn't know that. But like I said, I wasn't the only person in his, well, people in his comments were saying the same thing. Like, what did he just say? What was that? So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that. Yeah, I don't know who the H words he talked to. I don't know what that's about either. But anyway, moving on. That, like I said, that was the story I had the least to say anything about. This next story, I guess I'll go to this young lady, Liz Cambage. I think that is the way it's pronounced. Now, the media in Australia, they are saying that let me put this out here first. She is Australian and Nigerian. That's not it. Okay, here it is. She is okay, so she is biracial. She's Nigerian and Australian. And she was playing yeah. She was playing in Australia. And she plays now for the Los Angeles Sparks. So this is why this story is here in the States, right? Because she's playing for the Sparks now. Um, but they're saying that she, you know, I don't know. They're just pretty much saying she wasn't a good her character was in question. Um, During one of the games during the Olympics, I guess during the Olympics, she threw a tantrum. I guess the game wasn't going the way she wanted it to go. And I have the video, a clip of that actual game that I'm going to show you guys. But then the Australian media, they have their own video that's out there as well. Not necessarily of her doing anything, but just their opinion of her. So for her to leave the team kind of like that, it kind of makes you wonder what was going on there. and the team was actually playing against Nigeria. So, and it's just really odd, but it's kind of like I was saying about stuff like this, when you don't have both parents involved. Because I am kind of wondering how her parents feel about this, but she issued a statement, and I'll come back to that. I'm just going to show you guys a clip first. I don't know what. And watch her down in the middle because you know she's center. She's in the center. Oh, they put the circle on her. Anyway, I don't know if you guys could tell if it went by too fast or not, but anyway, um, she elbowed the lady in her face, and you can see the other player going back, right? Now, in her statement, she is claiming that because she posted a statement, and she's also is she makes a statement, verbal statement as well. But she posted this to her Instagram stories, and she's pretty much saying that the situation did not happen the way the Australian media is telling it. That she was upset. Obviously, she was upset. Or passionate about the game. I guess if that's what you want to call it. But she was saying that the player went over because she didn't intentionally hit the lady. So she's saying the Nigerian player went over to the bench while she was on the bench, and they got it into a physical altercation, and the lady started hitting her. And she's claiming, now this is a big lady. Okay, this chick is big, 6'7". She's claiming that she didn't hit this person back. Um, and so I don't know. I wasn't there. You only see that clip of her on the floor, and she, in fact, elbows the lady in her face. So they're saying that she started making all these racial slurs towards Nigerians. Now, mind you, keep in mind, she is Nigerian. I'm assuming it's her father that's Nigerian. And so it's just interesting in that way too, because the Australian team is saying that they didn't appreciate her behavior, that they felt like she was just out of unhinged, right, in the way she was handling that situation. She's denying all of this, by the way. She's saying that is not true. Um, there's no official statement from the Nigerian team or the player if she in fact said these things because she was making racial slurs towards them. Um, and so, yeah. And she, of course, in her statement is saying, well, the verbal statement, because she also gives a verbal statement, and I couldn't get the video, but she was saying that she really likes being in the States, that she feels protected here. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you do. I'm sure you do. But I just thought that was the whole story was is just weird because she is both of these things, and for both sides to maybe have I don't know if the Nigerians really have anything to say against her, but for them to feel a way about her behavior is, like, yeah, even people on Twitter was like, well, yeah, she is Australian, so why it's not anything, it has nothing to do with race on their end. They're just saying her behavior wasn't appropriate during that time when they were, I guess, playing against the Nigerian team for a position, for a medal or whatever. Um, so yeah, let me know what you guys think about this story. Like I said, she's been playing for the Spark now they're saying for about a year. Um, I don't know. I guess we'll have to wait and see if she will display any of this behavior over here. Um, but let me know what you guys think about that story in the comments. And so the next thing that I wanted to touch on, I'll go to So the guys from Fresh and Fit who have a podcast here on YouTube and wherever else they have one, um, and of course they are controversial and they say a lot of nasty things about women and they talk, you know, a bunch of nonsense to women. This is what they're known for. Um, they were in Vegas over the weekend, and the Airbnb that they rented was broken into while they were out, and their items, whatever they had in the house, was stolen. So yeah. Some of the other YouTubers, they're saying that they feel like it was probably an inside situation, because how do people even know that you're going to Vegas? A lot of times people don't know where people are going until they get there and go live and tell people, or until after their trip, right? They'll go back home and then they'll talk about, oh, I was so and so, right? And most people would say to do it that way, not to inform people that you're not at home or where you are until you've gone there and go back home, right? But anyway, people do what they want to do. I don't know. I don't know if they put it out there that they were going to be in Vegas. Maybe they put it out there. Maybe some of the girls that are on their panel put it out there. I don't know. But the Airbnb was robbed. So while they were there, now some people would say the karma that you build out here, like like it's kind of going to be what it is. And you really should treat people the way you want to be treated, right? Because you can't, and they can't even pinpoint who they would think would even do this, as much stuff as they, get involved in and keep up, right? In particular with some of those women that have been on there on the show. So, and I'm not saying that is any, I don't, I have no clue who could have done this, because it could have just been a completely random situation at the same time, right? It's not like Las Vegas is not, crime is not happening there, right? We all understand that it could have just been a random situation as well. Somebody could have just been watching them, right? They could have been staying in the Airbnb themselves or wherever, or live across the street or whatever, could have been going by and recognized them, um, and just decided to watch them. And then when they saw them leave, go to the house. I don't know. I really don't know, but that story is out here that somebody robbed them in Vegas over the weekend. Um, Let me know what you guys think about that in the comments. Now, the last story that I kind of wanted to get on was this whole story about Ricky Williams changing his last name. And what's interesting about this story is that we were just talking about this, right? If you watch Ready to Love, which is on OWN, if you guys are not familiar with it, the DMV, I'm going to still call it the DMV. I think they started calling it Potomac, but I'm just going to call it DMV. Um, this last season, Sabrina and the guy that she was claiming she was most interested in was Demetrius. She was saying to him that she did not want to take, if she got serious with somebody and decided to get married, she didn't want to take that person's last name. And so this conversation kind of came up about women wanting to keep their name and then their husbands taking on their name. And so she kind of put that out there with Demetrius, and he was like, no, he is, I guess, a traditionalist, and that he would like to keep that the tradition of women taking their husband's last name, right? You marrying into his family, and he is able to carry on his family name. Um, so yeah, I mean, I feel like you still could hyphen the name, like some people do that, right? They'll keep their name, their maiden name, and then they will take their husband's name with the hyphen. I mean, that is also an option. But she was saying that, that was kind of a thing for her. She wanted to do this whole thing about her last name. So it really depends on who you are in a relationship with or who you're married to, right? Because some people may feel a certain way about that. And so I think it just depends on who you are married to or who you are having these discussions with. But anyway, Ricky Williams, the former football player for, I believe he played for Miami Dolphins. I don't think that was the last team he played for, but I know he spent a good deal of his career in Miami. And I can remember hearing his name back then, and that people felt like he was a really good player, and that this whole marijuana thing was kind of keeping him from um, just playing, right? The fact that he wouldn't stop smoking. And it feels so weird now that that was held against him when, marijuana is legal in so many places, right? And smoking it. So yeah, and I don't know if his, that whole history is one of the reasons why maybe he wants to change his name. I don't know. I thought about that, but I don't know. He's saying that he wants to change his name because it empowers his wife to feel more empowered in their marriage. Now, I was looking into this, and it is a thing. It's a thing, right? There are people who, I mean, it's a whole conversation that's been out here now for a few years about men taking their wives' last name. So it's a thing. It's been out here. Like I said, Sabrina also brought this up on Ready to Love. Um, so, I guess people, if they feel the need to do that, I don't really get it. I feel like there are just some people in his life who want to feel like they're doing something different. Um, and whatever it is, if it makes them feel that way, then, they're all for doing that. And I kind of feel like that's all it really is. I don't know how you know, this person, he taking on his, is taking on his wife's name is really going to empower her, right? Because it's just a name change. Um, and like I said, some women were putting that hyphen there with their name, their maiden name, and their husband's name anyway already. But I don't know. How do you guys feel about that? I feel like I said, I think it just depends on the man and depends on the woman, right? Because Sabrina said that she couldn't compromise. If you guys watch the show, remember she was like if he wasn't open to it, she just could not see herself with Demetrius, and that's kind of when they started to. Well, when his friend said that whole thing about submissive, uh, I mean, the submission and all that stuff. That's kind of, you can tell that her attitude towards Demetrius changed, but then the name change kind of conversation came up as well. He is more of a traditionalist as far as his views on marriage. And so he probably wasn't going to want to bend in that conversation, and she recognized that. So, yeah, but you could tell her attitude towards him definitely shifted to away from him, right? And he felt like I think during his interview, he said the same thing, that he felt like it was that. And then he felt a different way about her too, finding out that she was seeing, what was his name? The other guy, Donovan, when Donovan came into play, how she was open to, you know, making Donovan number three, right? So he said he started to feel different towards her as well. So I don't know. Yeah, I just think it just depends on people wanting to do something different. To me, some of the different reasons that they were saying in the article I was reading was more in line of it empowering the wife, giving her more control over things. Um, especially if she is handling bills and handling certain things. I don't know. I mean, I feel like when you get married, if you take your husband's name, you change your name to your husband's name, you guys are still going to have the same name. So you still doing the same things, right? Because that's what they were saying. Like, they wanted to make sure that as long as both spouses have the same name, it doesn't matter if it's her name or his name. So I don't know. Like I said, it all depends on how you feel about the tradition of it all, of marriage. Because we see that there are so many other things that go against the traditional rules that were set up in marriage or for marriage with this whole polygamy and polyamorous conversation. Maybe not the polygamy, because I think that's kind of been out here for a long time, but the polyamorous stuff where, you can have all these people in your relationship, even if you're married, they can come into the relationship. And so when you have all these new ideas, and it definitely, it requires you to be open to all of that stuff. And so this is stuff, these conversations are not for everyone. They're for people who are open-minded to doing them, and like-minded, I should say, in these ways. Because some men will, they will want their wives to take their name. I that's just the way I see it. I don't think it's always necessarily up to that woman. And you could tell that from the Sabrina and the Demetrius conversation. He was just like, absolutely not, right? So yeah. Let me know what you guys think about I think about that. And I guess he was taking on his first name is Eric. So he was just gonna go by Eric Moran. I think that's how it's pronounced, her name. I don't know. I kind of also think it kind of changes his identity. Maybe he gets to kind of walk away from the legacy of Ricky Williams, right? As well. That's kind of what I was thinking. But he said that he's trying to empower her. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think about all these stories in the comments. And I will talk to you in the next video.